John?
I guess the other point that I didn't make, I did make it in my paper, but you may not have gotten that far in the paper. This group, within the next 2 or 3 months, is going to sit in this very room and decide how big next year's special assessment is going to be, as the first year in the special assessment for the dam. I think there's a limit to how much we can ask our membership to send us every month. As you all know, the dam special assessment is going to be a higher assessment than anything we've ever seen here at Holiday in the past. This is not the time to be adding to the homeowner's burden by asking them to pay more for a loan, more for out-of-pocket to refinance costs. We've got to find ways to reduce the amount of money we're asking our homeowners to send us every month, not add to it. Even though in the long run, as Dave has amply pointed out, yeah, it saves us money in the long run. But in the immediate time frame, the time frame we're talking about here is the 5-year period. We're going to be asking people to put in additional monies for this loan, precisely the same time that we're going to be asking people for a monumental special assessment for the dam. There has to be a limit. Pardon?
March 27th, this board voted to defer consideration of an unbudgeted expenditure for guardrails. And I'm presuming that perhaps that deferral will be released after the first quarter financials. And I don't see any reason why we shouldn't defer consideration, any further consideration of this until at least the first quarter financials.
We got a time constraint on this. Well, COVID is not going to hold these numbers. So that's the difference.
Anything else? Let me tell you how I feel about this. Thank you all for your thoughtful contribution to the discussion. We didn't make a mistake. We made it unknowingly, and therefore it was an honest mistake. And I don't feel too bad about it, except of the ignorance that caused it. And for that I apologize, because I was here too with many of the rest of you. Now we know we made the mistake. Now we know we are sitting here in violation of our own articles of incorporation. It's not a mistake anymore. We know it. I don't think I can tolerate myself living with the ethical lapse of not doing something about it, of intentionally living and admitting we're going to live in violation of our own governing documents. It's one thing to do it unintentionally, it's a whole other thing to do it intentionally. John says the damage can't be undone. He uses the euphemism ring a bell. The bell can't be unrung. Well, I don't know about the euphemism, but I can tell you the damage can be undone. And the damage is this. The damage is having the common area of the association encumbered by a loan. That's the damage. That damage can in fact be undone by simply unencumbering. We know how to do it. We have a banker that's willing to do it with us. The damage can be undone by definition. So please don't believe it can't be. I think action is absolutely mandatory on the part of the board, and I think it would be unforgivable for this kind of ethical lapse to continue and for us to continue to violate our fiduciary responsibility. So one of two things has to be done. Either we fix this now, and we have the means to fix it now. We have the financial means, in spite of John's well-considered caution. We have a banker that's willing to do it now. Second option is to present it to the membership and hope we get 67% of the eligible membership, and I think there's a reasonable definition we can put to define eligible membership. That's the other option, and the Articles of Incorporation give us that option very clearly. But let's be honest with ourselves. That option is going to fail. That referendum will not pass because we won't get 67% of the people even voting, let alone voting in an affirmative way. So ultimately we'll fix it the same way we're proposing to fix it now, by recollateralizing the loan. It's just whether we do it now or we do it after the vote by the membership. The difference between those two timeframes is today we have a viable offer on the table from a banker who's willing to bend over backwards for whatever reason for a good customer like us and do this. We made him bend over backwards, and if we delay in implementing this recollateralization, we're going to be saying to the banker, thanks for working so hard on our behalf, but we were just kidding, we're not going to do it. The question is, will that same offer be on the table when we come back in January or February of next year after our referendum has failed? And as Pat said, will we be able to get the same deal? Remember that the only property that we have, which is reasonable collateral for this loan, is our membership lots. You can't say, oh, we'll use something else. That's all we have. So it's the only option if we're going to recollateralize. That's my next point. That's about it. I just recommend to the board that they really have no choice but to cure this problem, because it would be a severe ethical lapse if they did anything else. And I move that we accept the terms of this loan now and recollateralize this loan as soon as we possibly can.
I'd like to speak to your comments if I could, please.
I think Joanne had her hand
I
up
don't think
first.
so, but that's okay, I'll
You'll
wait.
get your chance.
Okay, I'll wait.
Other than the fact that it's in our governing document, in our governing documents, what is the evil of collateralizing a loan with common area?
Do you want me to answer that?
Yeah.
The common area is area that belongs to the membership. Yes, it belongs to the association in legal terms, but it belongs to the membership for their use. It's in place for the members to enjoy. We don't have any right to put at risk common area, which is for the members' enjoyment, without their permission. Common property is another matter. That's not for the members' enjoyment, that's for the financial well-being of the association. Common area is for those people. And we don't have a right to misuse it this way. And that's why it's in the Articles of Incorporation. It takes that right away from the board and grants that right to the members. Only they can say that we can use it this way. That's there for a very good reason.
Okay, then I guess the next thing is if we follow the logic of it's going to fail, then basically what we're saying is we can't ever really take decisions to the community because we don't think we can get a majority of the community to vote for it, that we can't engage in that dialogue with our membership.
Anything that takes this great a majority, I don't think can ever pass in our current political climate. But remember, all the decisions we take for the community do not require this level of affirmative vote. Some things are a simple majority of all membership. Some things are a simple majority of those members that show up and vote at a particular referendum. So there are different hurdles to pass depending on what you're voting for.